society.
But Dr. Allegretto, arguably though, without jobs, with higher education still being prohibitively expensive, I mean, now you need it says, the New York Times had a report that you need a degree to be a receptionist now. Even enacting these reforms will have little impact necessarily on social mobility.
Yeah, I think, first of all, most Americans are shocked that, we have much less mobility, economic mobility, than most Americans think. I mean, where you begin has much more to do with where you end up in life than just about anything else, although education could, again, potentially mitigate that. And, you can't really have this discussion without talking about the broader economy. I mean, these areas that are struggling, the schools that are struggling, it's not just the kids, it's the whole communities. There's not enough jobs. There's not an investment in enough investment in, for instance, job creation. The jobs that a lot of folks have in these areas are low quality, low-paying jobs. We have to do something about that. We have far too many people that are working poor, for instance. These are a lot of other policy areas that we have to take care of. The fact that these children, often, for instance, don't have other things like health care. Provided, and their parents don't have health care. And, so we have to invest in communities and schools. I mean, there's a whole, litany of things here. But all of these things are kind of affected by the vast amount of inequality that we've accumulated over the last 30 or 40 years in this country. We have the level of inequality that really, dictates more of a plutocracy than a democracy. I feel that, we talked a lot about this during the Occupy Wall Street of the last few years, for instance, so it's come into the public perception of things. But it truly is one of the biggest problems we have is that for instance, the growth the growth that has finally started to happen since the Great Recession, all of the benefits of that growth have gone to the top 1% and then some. 121% of the growth in the last few years have gone to the top 1%. So they took all the growth and then some. So actually inequality now has gotten much worse post-Great Recession, which is going to make it even harder to remedy these situations.
So is that why you're a bit suspicious when the supposed solutions to the education problem come from exactly the same people who designed that system, that economic system?
Absolutely, and I'm really disheartened when on one hand I hear President Obama talk about universal pre-K, and then on the other hand I hear him say it's not going to cost us anything. That tells me we're not really ready to invest in that, because we should be investing horribly now. We have hundreds of thousands of teachers that have been laid off due to the Great Recession. We should hire all those teachers back like tomorrow, and invest in universal pre-K. We can borrow money for almost nothing. We should be borrowing like crazy and investing in our education system and our infrastructure and everything else that President Obama talked about in the State of the Union. But it's disheartening to somehow say that we're not going to really spend any money to do it.
Dr. Allegretto, thank you very much. Professor Reardon, thank you. Mary Bruce, thank you too. And that's it from the team in Washington, D.C. for now.